Okay.
I can't hear anyone.
I can hear you.
So who's the person who's supposed to be talking? Because I can't hear anyone else.
Leave and rejoin.
Can you hear that?
All right. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yay,
Okay.
I can hear someone.
That sucked. Okay, that was really bad. Okay. Introduction to Science Olympiad. So first of all, what is Science Olympiad? So Science Olympiad, it's kind of a science-based competition. You kind of could have guessed already. So basically what happens is that schools will send 15-member teams to go compete in these events. And so there's basically 3 divisions of Science Olympiad currently. So there's Division A, which is K to 6, Division B is 6 to 9, and Division C is 9 to 12. And so within Science Olympiad, every year they'll have 23 events and they will be held in 50-minute blocks. So for these 50 minutes, you'll be doing something that the event tells you to do, whether take a written test, demonstrate a build that you've been working on over the past year, or just a lot of different things. So what really I think makes Science Olympiad unique is that it's one single competition, but at the same time, it encompasses such a wide variety of science. So if you like any part of science, maybe you love physics, maybe chemistry is your thing, perhaps you like building and stuff in engineering, there's gonna be always a few events for you. And so that just allows so many people to enjoy Science Olympiad much more. For the events, you think maybe tests. Oh, we have a Science Olympiad veteran. Oh my God. So cool. So yeah, so in the events, maybe a written test sounds hard. Maybe it sucks, but don't worry, you will have cheat sheets. Basically you can jot down a lot of stuff that you've been researching over the year and take it with you onto the test. So basically it kind of becomes your Google search during the test. And this kind of makes Science Olympiad a lot less memory based, but a lot more, what do you know about the subject? Like how in depth did you go and take notes on whatever there is to learn? And so I think that also just makes it so much more interesting because we go really in depth into our topics. I will say that I think a lot of our instructors will also say the same thing. So yeah, then these events, usually you will be teamed up with another person. Very rarely you will get 3-person events, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of how events go. For scoring, individual events vary. If you have a test, obviously you get points, maybe there's extra credit, maybe there's tiebreakers. For build events, the scoring gets really weird. It's based off a lot of different criteria that frankly I'm not very familiar with. But for each event, then you get ranked by your place. So, and then at the end, you sum up all the places that you've got. And so the lowest total ranking would win. And as an example, if your school gets first in every single event, which is something that probably Kennedy Division B can only do, then your score would be 23 times 1 is 23, which would be the lowest score possible. So you win. Yay, fun. So moving on to the competitions. So these occur throughout your school year. The earliest ones I think are in like September, October, and then they can go as late until nationals, which is in May. And so so there are a bunch of invitationals that maybe your school gets invited to, and then you can compete perhaps locally or online. Oh, from the previous slide, times 23, because there are 23 events. If you get first in all of them, you get 23 points. Then there's the 3 most important tournaments that you might be playing in. First is regionals in March, where you'll be competing against a lot of people around the region. Yes, there are 23 official events. There are more trial events that don't count towards your score. So there might be many, many, many events, but only 23 of them will be count, and they will be assigned like before the school year begins. So you have ample time to prepare. And so back to regionals. So they're just going to be for schools in a certain region. For me, when I was in basis and I did Science Olympiad, we were in Santa Clara County Regional. And then later, if we made it to the top 3 to 5 schools, then we would make it to states for California, I guess. And then the top state here would advance to nationals. What do you mean by school? Well, okay. Teams, you get you pair up with 15 different people from your school, and then you go to the tournaments. So that's how the whole team thing works. All right. Let's move on to types of events. So yeah, first type of event, study events, the in-test things that we've talked about. So it's going to be about how much do you know about a subject, how much stuff did you put on your cheat sheet and can like access and remember during the test. Then there are build events which caters towards engineering people, where you have something that you build at home and then it will be put to the test at the it will be put to test during the competitions. And then there are laboratory events, which some chemistry events are, maybe they'll be more hands-on. You'll need materials, you'll need to like conduct experiments in order to be able to do. And then finally, there are hybrid events, which would be like part study and part lab. So maybe you get 25 minutes to take a written test and then 25 minutes to do kind of like a practical examination. Okay, so let's move on to events. And these slides are a bit outdated. These were the 2021 to 22 slides. So let's go on to my favorite Science Olympiad site, scilewiki.org, and take a look at the events. So in 2023, these were like the main events, the big 23 that counted towards the total ranking. Now that I realize it, 23 events, 2023 match, really cool. So yeah, if we just take a brief look down the event list, you have stuff like human anatomy and physiology. In bio, you got stuff like can't judge a powder from chem. You have stuff like dynamic planet, my personal favorite event from earth science. And you've also got different stuff like maybe wheeled vehicle, which is a build event. So yeah, really just a lot of stuff for different types of people. Oh my God, we have a dynamic planet enjoyer. You're so cool. I love you platonically. You're awesome. Nice, nice. Yeah, moving back to the intro. Let's go back here. Okay, how to prepare. For preparation, Google is your best friend, honestly. Now that we have ChatGPT, maybe you can plug some questions in and have it answer for you, which could be better, but be sure to fact check. Sometimes it might be wrong, who knows. Another great place to start is the official rules. So when the events are decided for the current year, which I guess the next year would be the 2024 season, they'll give you official rules. And these official rules kind of are like the syllabus. So they will contain all the information that can be tested. And so basically, well, I guess for study events, just what you can be tested on. For build events, it will tell you how they will judge your build. And so you get a lot of details on like what restrictions you have on your build. You also like just have a better idea of what to study for study events. Siley Wiki is also really useful. The site that I just showed you. Actually, let's go back to Siley Wiki. Can I like exit this slideshow? Thank you. So if we go here and like we click on an event, maybe dynamic client. Oh my god. So if we start looking down, sorry guys. Then you see just very basic overview of what the content is about. So like look, so stuff about stream flooding, and just a lot of different stuff that's here. And if you want to take practice tests, oh look, there's some references here. Really cool. And there's a site also called Siley's Test Exchange that contains practice tests, both official and unofficial. I'd say the official test obviously would be more kind of legit, but maybe better for studying, but who knows? Other tests obviously probably will be still helpful. Right. So let's talk about commitment. So Science Olympiad requires quite a bit of commitment, but you really have to believe me when I say that it's really worth every minute of your time to like actually go there, have fun with friends, and then just be competing. So what I kind of have recommended, or at least what I did when I was a student, 1 to 2 hour study period per week for each event, some team meetings during the school year to kind of like synchronize, check up on progress, and just do different stuff that will allow the team to succeed later. Basis, I believe, did 1 competition per month from December to March or April, at least when I was there. It's been a few years, so they might have changed stuff. But just most importantly, you got to have strong commitment. Any of the people who are currently in Science Olympiad or have done Science Olympiad in the past, do you believe that strong commitment is important? Because I really do. And I'll tell you a story about me when I was in Science Olympiad. I did 4 events. 3 were kind of more earth nature sciences. And then on top of that, I also did anatomy. And my partner for anatomy didn't really do their part. I'm trying to put this in the nicest way possible, but I can't. They didn't really do their part. And so eventually in anatomy, we'll have another instructor to talk about this in the future, but there are 3 organ systems that you have to study for the event. Originally, the plan was for me to cover 1, the other guy to cover 1, and then we meet halfway on the 3rd, but it just turned out to be I had to cover 2 systems and then he just had to do 1. And so that just got really annoying. You don't want to let down your friends. You don't want to let down your teammates or your entire team. And as it turns out, the only event that I've never medaled in was anatomy. So I guess that just shows how important commitment is. And honestly, if you do it with a friend, then if your commitment, the amount of commitment you can have just goes goes much higher up, because anatomy is hard. I didn't like anatomy, but don't tell Brayden I said that. What am I talking about? I'm just giving a brief introduction to Siley, no content until the latter half. Lots of memorization in study events, not, well, I guess there's some, but like you have your cheat sheet, right? And turns out cheat sheets are really clutch. How long is this? We'll go until 5:30. Yes, anatomy is a lot of memorization. Maybe I dug myself and I dug my own grave, who knows? But 5:30, yeah. What are you all? Anyways. Oh, 5:30 Pacific. So that would be 8:30 Eastern. Whatever. Yeah, just strong commitment, have strong commitment. Really not much else. Why do you want to join Siley? So obviously, I think for a lot of people, there are for a lot of people, there are different reasons why they might want to join SciLE. Perhaps some of our SciLE veterans can pitch in and share some of the reasons why they joined SciLE. But here are some of the reasons why I chose it. First, the content is super challenging. And so I don't know about you, maybe I just don't know about you, but for me, I've just really enjoyed learning about really difficult things, really difficult topics in the events that I like. And so personally, earth science is kind of the part where I excel at the best. And it's the part where I really, I did it because my parents were like, do this thing. And I was like, okay, bro, okay. But for me, I've always loved just learning a lot about the stuff that I like. And Science Olympiad gave me it was just a really good pathway for me to do this. And additionally, it's really up to you what you want to learn. So as I've said before, and I've iterated, there's stuff for everyone. If you like any part of science, there are events that cater to your interests. Maybe you find some events just don't speak to you at all, but maybe other events really call out to you, and then you just go to those other events. And yeah, additionally, SciLE really teaches you how to like independently just search and just do independent study. And I think that that's been really important, because in high school, there's going to be a lot of times when you just have to conduct, or at least in my history class, I've had to like do research projects. And so being able to search up, being able to know what to search up, and being able to learn from the internet has just been really, really important. But aside from independent work, it's also really heavy. You will also have to coordinate with your teammates. Guys, not the Genshin Impact in the chat, please. We can save this for a break, okay? Like, let's just do this for now. Yeah, anyways, SciLE can really teach teamwork. I'm gonna close the chat, it's too disruptive. So yeah, SciLE, because you are with a teammate, you really have to coordinate with them. And so at least for in the study events that I did, we had to like divvy up the material, make sure we were each kind of going at a good pace. And then we each, we took practice tests together. We kind of covered for each other and were able to explain stuff for each other when the other person wasn't there. One of your future instructors was my partner for dynamic planet and meteorology, and we just because we were such good friends, we were able to sync up really well and be able to work really efficiently, both like in our practice tests and during the official contests. And we were able to do really well in these events. So yeah, both independent research, teamwork. But I guess there's one more reason why to join SciLE that one is not on the slides, and two, I didn't really think of when I was joining in. And it's just because SciLE is really fun, and the competition experience was really enjoyable, at least in person, when we all got to travel like to Sacramento sometimes for an invitational, and then we stayed there overnight. And then like on the competition day, we were rooting for each other. And then every time when we were heading out to do an event, people were really supportive. And then we had fun during the times that none of us had events. And so it was just really enjoyable, a lot of team spirit. You cheer a lot for your team when other teammates win medals. And you have other people to support you if perhaps you are underperforming. But overall, consider it like team sports, but within science. And really, I have been able to see this level of teamwork and team spirit be built up in any other science-based competition. So I guess that just testifies to how important SciLE really is. but aside from this, for the newcomers here, I'll give a few tips on what you can do if you want to join your school team. So obviously go talk with the person who runs Sally, but if you want to join Sally, you can already take some steps right now. So um for right now, you should try to pick out a few events that you want to do. Normally people do like 3, the really dedicated people can do 4. And although the events kind of aren't officialized right now, and you'll have to wait until perhaps later in the summer to get the actual events, now's a good time to kind of like get an idea of what you want to study, perhaps already make a bit of progress into kind of researching the material needed, or like getting the materials ready to prepare for your builds. And so in the summertime is actually a really good time to study, because you all have school, and I'd assume school is not an insignificant workload for you all during the year. And so teams that like can study in the summer and get a head start will just be really ahead when it comes, will just be really ahead when you get to the when you get to fall, where the competitions actually begin. And then so once the teams are like officially formed in October, August, September, when like the actual team, when the actual events are decided, then you'll like make your final event adjustments and just start preparing. See, is there anything else? Nope, there's nothing else. Okay, we ended this pretty early. I guess I'll talk about my experience while you guys type any questions you have in chat. So in Sally, is there homework? No. So during tournaments, I'll go a bit into the tournament schedule, because I didn't say anything about it here. So for the tournaments, usually they'll take the whole day. The events can start really early in the morning, about maybe like 8, and then they'll, as I've said, they occur in 50-minute timestamps. So throughout the whole day, you'll just have events, a lot of events. Different events will go into different blocks. Oh, and you don't have to worry about conflicts, because the people at Nats will tell you which events will be happening at the same time for all the invitationals. So you can plan your way around that. And so basically you'll just be sitting in these different time slots. Did I seriously forget to turn off invitations? God, I make this mistake every time.
Annotations are off now.
Yeah, I just, sorry. Anyways, so from about like 8 in the morning to like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, or maybe 4 p.m., you have just a bunch of events. There's some lunch period in the middle. And then later, from maybe like around 5 or 6 is the award ceremony, and then that's just when the awards are distributed, and then you find out if you've actually performed really well. So that's the gist of tournament schedule. All right, now I'm gonna go look at the questions, and it's hard to look at the questions because there's just so much random stuff. First question: to prepare for a school's team trial, is it better to prevent a few events or general knowledge? Our school's organizer didn't give us any details. Well, if your organizer didn't give you any details, that kind of puts you in a bit of a pickle. I would say, I think I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards go for general knowledge, but I don't really know. What events did you do? Is this to me? Do you have other resources other than Siley? Siley is a competition. Siley Wiki, you mean? So I guess aside from Siley Wiki, an official resource guide. Well, personally, I find that I learn really quickly from YouTube. So if there's someone like explaining all the stuff to me, I can like take notes really easily. So yeah. Oh yes, SO Inc would be nice. Yeah. Is SO Inc the official website? I forget. Do you need an account to use the Silo website? No, I do not believe so. If you are in 6th, are you in Div A or B? Oh, yeah. If you're in 6th or 9th, you got decisions to move up or down. At basis, there was no Div A, so I'm not sure how Div A plays out. And so, yeah. Do you know when the 2024 event list will be listed? No, I would assume late summer, but I'm not sure. 17 other, oh my god. What was my favorite event? Dynamic Planet, obviously. Smile. I haven't participated in Siley, is that okay? Yeah, this class is actually targeted towards people who haven't done Siley. When do you start Siley? As in like what grade? I started in 7th grade. Yeah. Which YouTuber do you recommend? Depends on the event, really. If you like engineering, perhaps Mark Rober is the person for you to go to. Otherwise, just find anyone that looks legit and like are actually talking about the stuff that's necessary. Usually longer videos will contain more kind of organized information and be better as opposed to kind of shorter videos. But maybe if it's just on one topic, then a short video is fine. Very good science, I trust. 20 new messages. God, you are so chaotic. What age did you start Sally? 7th grade. Well, what if you're in 6th? That's fine. If as long as you like Sally, go ahead and join. What events did you do? Okay, about time I gave you. Okay, so the events I did, so 7th I did 3rd, I did anatomy, I did meteorology, and I did dynamic planets. In 8th, I also tacked on water quality. Actually, I will be doing water quality in the session after this, after our break. So yeah, cool. I like water quality because it's about water and it's also partially about earth science, so it's really cool. What was your favorite event? Dynamic Planet. This is like the 3rd time I said it. Which is events are the easiest and fastest to learn. I hate to sound I hate to sound unhelpful, but really depends on the person, right? I would say pick the events that you like the most. That will make you more incentivized to do it. Oh, for Write It, Do It, I've seen which is the hardest. Then again, depends on the person. I will say Write It, Do It is the funniest event of all time. Basically, the premise is you have 25 minutes. One person, so you know, 2 people actually, it's a 2-person event, but they're separate. So one person gets kind of an image, they have to describe it, and then the other person has to recreate the original image based on the description that their partner gave. So basically, this is 100% a friendship like challenge. This is like how well do you know your friend and how well can you like communicate with them. And so like if you do not have a friend in mind who wants to Write It, Do It, then I'd say no. Yeah, the whole website is fair game and there's definitely gems like everywhere. Just be careful about stuff that like takes you off on a tangent. if my school has a science bowl team, is that the same thing? Yeah, no, actually. Science bowl kind of is more buzzer, and there's just 4 people per team, and so it's gonna be slightly different. Do you have any more questions? Are you gonna do Kahoot in one of the classes? Actually, we're going to do Kahoot in most of the classes because I am a big fan of engaging learning. Therefore,
No, don't do it, but look at instead.
what?
But my
How
the
did someone
compromise
do
work.
this? Was it hard to get in? It wasn't terribly hard to get in, but I don't think there were too many people who signed up in my year. I think at basis, I think they admitted like just a handful of people from the 7th graders. So I guess if you do well enough on their tryouts, then yeah. The stuff there, a lot of the stuff, I should mention, Sally is really hard. The tests and stuff can go really in deep. So if you get like 50%, 60%, that's by no means a bad score. You're not, it's really rare when you get mostly perfect scores. So don't be discouraged, but definitely learn from your mistakes. Understand for the problems, what did you not get, what did you kind of miss on the problem, and how can you do better in future tests next time. If you don't have a partner, can you do Sally? Well, if you have a 15-person team, then you'll be forced to partner up with someone, whether you like it or not. If you have less than 15 member teams, that's okay, but then you're running at a disadvantage, obviously. We can Kahoot, yes. Thanks for the systems are there selected. 45 people for the team. Do you go to like Kennedy or something? When you have extra exam, is it different for everyone or the same manner? I don't know. I was never, nobody ever asked me about what events I like, so I would assume they gave the same test. But then again, this is only applicable for basis. Maybe other schools are different. What's usually on the tryouts? A whole range of stuff, if I remember correctly. How did tryouts generally work at basis? And don't be sorry for asking questions. I'm here to answer them. I'm begging you for questions. How did tryouts work? The tryouts, they just had me go take small tests, and then that was basically it. Yeah. Did you graduate yet? No, I am rising 11th. How hard are the tryouts? Should I study before them? You could. I didn't. Yeah. Are we going to do a Kahoot today? Yes, for water quality. Books are good in studying if you can find them. Yes, okay. So on Sally, there are going to be resources like books and CDs that you can buy, but like you have to buy, and then probably you'll have to communicate with your organizer about this. So I've never used any books. Oh, that's a lie. I've used a few books, but they were like textbooks from a teacher. And so I guess you could use them, but some of the resources cost money, and I just never found to do that. Do you get hours for this? Why does it matter that I get hours for this? How old am I?
Okay, please paste the Kahoot in the chat.
Let's see. Water quality liquid. True. You have a question. What is your question?
So there's gonna be like 82 people in this Kahoot, no, like break or something?
Wait, can you say that again?
There's like 82 people in this class, including me. So like one complete break or something? Like is the
Wait, I was told that free Kahoot can have up to 100 participants. Am I wrong on this?
I have no idea. I'm not a teacher.
Okay, I think 100, less than 100 people should be fine. 84 people Kahoot. There have been like 1,500. It's fine.
Can please post the Kahoot now?
Host a Kahoot now. Oh, be prepared to get 0 if I host a Kahoot right now. By the way, I have told you literally nothing about water quality, and I don't expect you to know anything about it.
I mean, we have a probability to know.
We could just guess it.
Yeah,
What fun is a Kahoot if all you do is guess? Is Bright Future for All?
it's a lottery.
We're not a company. What are you talking about?
It's
Only can have 100 people.
it's like a gambit. It's like the lottery.
Exact.
Don't handwrite your
It is
print them.
way better.
Okay. Everyone needs to mute right now. I have no idea why you're talking. Jerry Huang is actually spitting facts in the chat, though. All really useful stuff that I haven't mentioned. Cheat sheets, definitely type them. Use like 6-point font, like the smallest you can. Use the smallest you can read. Also, print like with basically zero margin. You have to stuff as much stuff into your cheat sheet as possible. If your cheat sheet is not 100% full, you've done something wrong. What school did
No,
you?
but I know a
Like,
lot
go to
about
our-
water quality. I know a lot about water quality.
Do you know what dissolved oxygen is and what it measures? Okay, anyways, let's see. So many water quality enthusiasts. Oh my god. You can have 1.5. Can you read 1.5 is the question. Kahoot is blocked on my computer. Oh god, that's the worst.
No.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to fix that. Dissolved oxygen is oxygen that's dissolved. Good job. Awesome. All right. It's 4:40 and this will be our break time for 10 minutes until 4:50. Sometimes if we run over, then
Okay, please post
Yeah.
the game kit or book it or something.
Sure.
I have no idea what you just said, and personally, I'm not interested. Yeah, see you in 10 minutes for water quality.
Your mom.